Okay, everybody, how's it going? Well, it's time to open up another can of worms on this Kamala Harris. In her memoirs, she writes um, about her grandmother Bertha. I guess that's how you pronounce it, Beryl. And how she used to do this and she used to do that with her grandmother and all of this other good stuff. And I'm trying to figure out how. She shows a picture of herself with her. She's probably like, at the time, I would say Kamala was probably between the ages of 17 and 20, maybe even younger. I don't know. I'll really have to go back and look again. But here's the thing. All right, now you ready for this? So, if that's really her grandmother, she looks pretty good for a woman who's dead. Now, according to the genealogy and records and stuff like that, Kamala Harris's grandmother died in 1960. She was born in 1917 and dies in 1960. Kamala Harris was born in 1964. So can anybody tell me? Now I know how to do math, so it's not mathematical. It's more like magical, but it's not mathematical. So tell me, how can she go to Jamaica at that age and spend time with her grandmother who's been dead longer than she's been alive? That doesn't make sense to me, but again, there it is. And it's out there. I mean, she put it in a book, dude. That's the thing. I mean, how? So, and then they have Miss Iris, who's even older than the mother, but here's the thing, and this is what I'm trying to understand now. It's like their names, none of them have black American name, African American names, whatever you want. I don't know, I don't want to insult anybody, but none of them except for Kamala and the sister Malika have like names that could be considered African American. To me, they're more like, Kamala would be more like a Bohemian name or an island name but I don't know. I mean, it could be. I have no idea. Now, yes, I'm aware that South African is light-skinned, maybe. If you want to go that route, yeah, I can understand that. But don't pass yourself off as black African American if you're white African American. I mean, you're African American either way, I guess. But the tone of your skin is going to make that much of a difference? I don't know. So are you playing to somebody else because you want to use a word game? Or, what is it? But now, the father, on the birth certificate for Kamala Harris. Now, I saw the birth certificate. I saw her. I looked it up, and because it's public record, and I looked, and it's authentic. And it said that Kamala Harris's mother's race was Caucasian. Now, everybody knows that you fill out these forms. These birth certificates not done all the way through by the hospital. You put the information in. Now, the father, if you roll down to the father, it says Jamaican. Now, Jamaican is not a race. It's an ethnicity, but it's not a race. Okay. I don't understand why they put that down there. Maybe they don't know, so they just, is it lack of intelligence, lack of education? I don't know. But as far as I know, he's Bohemian. He was raised in Jamaica, so I don't know. And let's get this out there, because I'm going to tell you this for a fact. Okay, my wife of 19 years is Jamaican. Okay, she is a Caucasian. Okay, she was born in Kingston, Jamaica. She is a Caucasian woman. Her mother was a Caucasian woman. Her father was a Caucasian male. Her aunts are Caucasians. Her uncles are Caucasian. just because someone says that, oh, you live in Jamaica, you're black. No, stop. That's so racist that it's not even funny. You know, it's crazy. Growing up, I'm Italian. Growing up, I remember that they used to say Sicilians were that. You know, oh, with Sicilians you're half black. It's not true. Even though, you know, we were attacked by Africa several times, and we got overran by them several times, and yes, there's a lot of mixed races in Italy, but doesn't make us all black. It's just racism, you know. It's just ignorant people talking smack that don't know what the hell they're talking about, okay? So anyways, let's get back to this. So now, if you go back in her, now this is according to her, so I'm not making this up. The last names of her family were Finnegans. That's Irish. That's not, those were Irish names. And they looked white to me. I'm trying to dig up some more photos, but from what I'm seeing, you know, they were Irish people that moved there, and they were slave owners. So, this is where, and it, you know, it's kind of hard because there's so much missing. You know what I mean? It's like things are like just totally wiped out that you can't find. You know, there's like nothing. Like, try to pull up the grandmother's name, and it's really hard to find. So you really have to kind of backtrack and dig in and come back around, because if you do it straight out, it'll come up there's no information on her. Like, she doesn't exist. Like, half of the family just doesn't exist, but yes, she talks about it. Now, she jumps from culture to culture like I don't know, it's hard, and I don't want to even say anything, but it's bad, because she'll change herself to fit whatever she feels like talking about or who she's talking to. So if she's talking to a group of blacks, she'll try to push the black issue, that how she's black and she can relate to being black and she can relate to your problems. If she's talking to somebody of Hispanic culture, she'll do the same thing. She'll change her attitude, the way she talks, to try to fit in. She talked a lot about being Indian, and laugh and being proud of being East Indian. But yet, if she's East, now you got to listen to this, because it's kind of confusing, and I don't want to confuse anybody, but she only talks about her mother until certain points, and then she'll say, my father did this and my father did that. So she was born in 1964. Her parents divorced in 1970, I believe it was. So she really didn't have much time growing up with her father until I think they reunited or whatever back later on. 2009, her mom passed away. So, but she talks about being raised that way with her mom and that family, but she doesn't say much about her father until after the fact. So there's actually huge segments of her life that I'm missing. It's strange. So, but anyway, so to find this, actually to try to pinpoint or put your finger on whether she's African American, she's Bohemian, or she's East Indian, it all depends what day of the week it is for Kamala Harris, because it doesn't make a difference. She's going to tell you whatever you think she needs to hear. And she's proved it. And she's proved it over and over again, because if you listen to when she was talking on the road, and when she was in Detroit, when she said, if you like this, you ask, thank a union worker. If you like this, you can thank so and so. And then when she went to somewhere else, she had more of an accent, a southern drawl. She added it. Well, you could that. So I'm sure if she went to a Hispanic thing, she would probably try to add some barrio into her voice. Just saying. Like I said, I'm not trying to insult anybody or be racist towards anybody or, be disrespectful to anybody. I'm just, facts are facts. It's what's there. She's the one that's saying this stuff, so I'm just pointing it out that she's a liar. And she doesn't stop lying. One of the things that I find to be comical is body language, because body language always tells me that either you're going to be telling me the truth or you're going to be full of shit. And I've noticed over the years, and things that I was taught to look for, when someone's going to be truthful to you, is there's certain signs, okay? Now, I'm not looking at my phone because I'm driving, so that's why you see me looking ahead a lot, and my head's moving around and all this other stuff, and I'm not looking. I try to look once in a while towards you guys. But, so she doesn't look anybody in the eye when she speaks to them. That's number one, The second thing she does, and you'll notice this, is her hand movements, okay? She sets up her storyline. So this is when you know it's going to be a bullshit story, because she's setting it up. So she has this thing. She goes, well, let's start with, okay? So let's start with, and she goes, let's start with, and she puts her hands like God, like she's going to say mass. Her two hands are in front of her palms up. Okay, let's start with this. So here's the beginning of the bullshit story. So let's start at the beginning of my lie, and I will work my way through it so you understand that I'm lying to you step by step, and how I'm lying to you step by step. So how are you going to fix the economy, Kamala, when you become president? Well, let's start with this. I was raised by... Nobody cares who you were raised by. You could have been raised by a pack of wolves. That's not the question. The question is, what are you going to do about the economy? Middle class, working class, socialist class, whatever class you were raised in. I don't really care. But it's all nonsense. You're talking bullshit stuff. So it is what it is. And people get tired of hearing it. It's like non-stop nonsense over and over and over again. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. Nobody cares, Kamala, because you're not saying anything we want to hear. You're not telling us that you want to, you're going to do anything. You're not saying anything. You gave us nothing. And every time you do this, it's the same thing. You give us more and more of the same nonsense, the same rhetoric, and the same nothing. The only thing you give us is a headache and an earful of how this is Trump's fault. Now, 12 out of the 16 years that have passed, okay? The United States of America has been ran by Democrats. 4 years under Trump. You've had it for 3.5, almost 4 years now, and you didn't fix nothing. You broke a lot of shit, but you didn't fix anything. Your Build Back America isn't working. So I don't care how much you think it is, and your Bidenomics is like the worst. So I don't understand how you got these people believing you. I don't know. I just don't know. But you can ask 100 people, how they're doing during the 4 years of Trump compared to the 8 years of, well, the past 4 years of you guys. It's going to be, they're going to tell you straight out, they were better off under Trump than they were you. You know, this nonsense of, well, let's start with this. Things are going to go up. Prices go up. Yeah, prices do go up. Yeah, you're right. They do go up. But they don't go up like you made them go up. You guys drove the prices up. Don't you understand that? People are not stupid. When you're talking, you know, price increases of 25, 35, 45, 50% margins, stuff doesn't go up like that. Electric bills went and almost doubled. Food, the cost of food almost doubled. The cost of gasoline doubled. That doesn't happen with a cost of living. At the cost of living. Usually cost of living is small. So if you're going to say, you know, this is where you get really stupid. Because if you're going to say that things are going to marginalize and rise at that rate, 25, 35, 45, 50% raise because prices go up, why is it our cost of living increases are only 1% or less, or sometimes 3% if we're lucky? So we get minuscule, so you're still out of balance. So stuff can go up 40% higher than the cost of increase that we're going to get. So we still can't afford it. So stop acting like, you know, you have no idea that this is like what it is. Sure you do. Because you knew exactly what was going to happen. The day after you guys shut the freaking pipeline down, the price of gas shot up. The price of heating oil shot up. You guys were starting to sell barrels of reserve. Why? We've had enough oil to become independent. We don't need other countries for our fuel and our gas. We don't need it. We can be fuel independent. You guys are mad because, and the reason you're shutting this stuff down is because you can't make money. Now, go back and go look. I want you all to do something because it's gonna blow your minds if I, tell you this. Like, go look at the amount of money that all these presidents had when they got into office, how much money they were worth, what was their value before that when they were in Washington, D.C. And then look at their value when they got out, okay? Now, the biggest value increase of wealth went to Bill Clinton. I think he had somewhere in the vicinity of, like, he was worth like maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 million. When he left, it was 240 million when he got out of office. Now, there ain't no way in hell you're going to get rich being a public servant. Not at that price rate. Not at that rate. No way in hell. You know, and then Obama steps in and he puts this thing about like putting a cap on, you know, speaker money. Like you can't make X amount of money over this, you know, going out and doing these things, these talks. Yet, in his first year, he broke his own rules and he made like a ton of money off of it. Trump going in and coming out. Trump was at like $2.4 million or something like that. I'm just going by what it's. This is what I can try to remember. I mean, you can actually go look at it. And when I'm sorry. Correction. Sorry. I needed to make a correction in this. It was worth 4.2 something million. Okay. Coming out, he was at 3 point something. he lost money, and that's a fact. I mean, I might be wrong on the numbers, but I'm just trying to remember like the scenarios where who made what. But all the presidents that went in, that had X amount of dollars going out, all left with big money. They all left with more money, making more money than they did coming in. Now, how is that possible? The only way to make money like that is to steal it. Now, when I mean steal it, I don't mean actually just like go robbing it, steal it. But inside trader, you know, hey, look, I'll do this for you if blah, 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 you know, we'll do this on the side, make a few bucks here, make a few bucks there. Next thing you know, bada boom, bada bing, my bank account's blowing up. And that's what they did. Now, I'm going to tell you something that you probably don't know because most people don't pay attention. When the Clintons left office, they physically took stuff with them. They took pictures and desks and lamps and rugs and all kinds of stuff that they got. Okay? Now, here's the deal. Now, we in the United States need to start auctioning this stuff off because it's just sitting somewhere in a warehouse. And I'm not too sure if you're aware of it, but every president that comes into office, president and his wife, they get to remodel the White House. Okay? They get to remodel it the way they want it. So, if they like Van Goghs, they get Van Goghs. If they like, you know, whatever, some other artists, they get those other artists. Oval offices get changed. There's certain things that have to stay. There's certain things that can be changed. But if they're all, the White House gets redecorated on what they like. I think Obama had a basketball court put in. Somebody had a bowling alley installed. Somebody had a movie theater done. So yeah. So and we pay for this stuff. This is on our dime. But the Clintons, they took the stuff. So they actually had to go get it back. Physically, they had to go get it back because it was at their house. They took it, put it in their own personal homes. Then they try to play Joe the Dope, like, oh, we didn't know we can't have it. We thought it was ours. No, it's not yours. You know that. You know it doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the United States. So when they get it, they go bring it and they put it in this huge-ass warehouse. So there's furniture and paintings and chandeliers and lamps and candlesticks and dishes and glasses and silverware and all this stuff in these warehouses that we have bought and paid for over the year. We're probably still paying for it. It's probably part of the deficit, you know, and we're still paying for it. So, long story short, we're involved. This is how complicated the government is, but the problem is they've been lying to us all this time, and we're just hung up in these lies, you know. So if they can get away with it, they're gonna get away with it. But do some homework. Go ahead, go out there and look at that stuff. Find it, because you're gonna be surprised when I'm telling you. You know, and Kamala Harris is a fake. She's a fraud, 100%. Show down, fake. No doubt about it. No doubt about being a fraud. And it's just going to get worse. So imagine this fraud running the government. So I really wish people would wake up and start understanding that you can't believe what they say. I would say like 1/3 of what they'll tell you is factual. The rest of it is bullshit because they want you to believe them. They want you to vote for them. So whatever they tell you, that's going to happen, they want to happen, is going to happen because, not that it's true, but because they want you to believe it. So you figure it out, people. Don't vote for Harris. I don't care if you don't like Trump or not. I mean, those who hate Trump, I don't really care. Vote for policy. I'll say it every time. Don't vote for a person, vote for policy. People can get corrupt. Some people can. Now, Trump hasn't been bought yet. It's been pretty solid. So I'm going to put my dime on him. I'm going to vote for him because I like his policies. And you know what else I'm going to vote for him for? Because it's pissing them off that he can't be bought and he's shutting them down. Peace out. Love you guys. Tomorrow.